Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad you're here. I'd like to begin by sharing who we are at the Center for Literacy and Learning. Our mission is to advance literacy through evidence-based practices, not just in the classroom, but also at home and throughout our community. Our vision is simple but powerful. We believe everyone should be empowered through literacy. That belief drives everything we do. Today's webinar is called Changing the Story, because that's exactly what we're doing, transforming how literacy is taught and supported in K-12 education. We'll walk you through several programs we offer, share real data, and introduce you to the specialists who make this work possible. My name is Kelly Morris, and I serve as the Director of K-12 Learning here at the Center. I'm joined by two of our incredible specialists, Andrea Herold and Alicia Dearles, who will be sharing insight throughout today's session. Since 1992, our organization has been working to close the achievement gap by providing wraparound literacy services that empower educators and build capacity for long-term growth. We support several programs at the K-12 space, and today we'll introduce you to a few of them. First up is our Literacy Coach program, where Andrea will walk you through some of the details.
Hi, everyone. Even the strongest educators need support. And so when we are able to come in your school as specialists, we can elevate your coaching impact, which in turn elevates student outcomes and student achievement. So that is our goal, is to elevate student outcomes and to help teacher practice. So of course, this is our model for the Literacy Coach program, and it begins with a cycle of analyzing data first. We have to analyze data to determine the needs of your school. Once that's done, we start learning walks, and that provides us insight as to what teachers need to accelerate growth in students. Then we support your coach in developing action plans for teachers with clear goals. These are not action plans that are punitive. They are action plans that provide support for those teachers. And by going through learning walks, then we can determine which teachers need more support. By looking at data, we determine which teachers need more support. And this is what is called student-focused coaching. So our goal is to work alongside the coach to improve teacher practice through modeling PLCs and collaborative discussions. And then the cycle starts again. And so this is ongoing professional development, which we know provides sustainable change that continues long after that coaching relationship ends. So this is from Hattie. When teachers systematically collect data and adjust instruction, providing targeted feedback and tailoring support, it can significantly accelerate student learning, often equivalent to raising achievement by roughly half to a full school year. So one thing that I notice when I'm in schools, and I'm sure Alicia and Kelly do as well, is that one of the missing pieces is that targeted feedback. We do learning walks and we talk to teachers, but we fail to give that targeted feedback. So these are some spreadsheets displayed here that we use within our coaching cycle. One of those is a spreadsheet that shows the teachers that we're working with, and we gather their data from beginning to middle to end. And this data guides us in knowing which teachers more support. So the top chart shows how we track data by teachers we're supporting, and then we determine their most urgent need, and we track student data each time their progress monitored and decide if the support we provide is working. And then the bottom chart is a coaching log that we review each time we visit your school to determine what has been done since our visit a month ago, And what support does that teacher need? Do we move on to another goal? Is what we're doing in the coaching cycle working? If not, what do we need to change? Here are some pictures of the Literacy Coach program in action. This first picture is routine called sticky note sentence expansion. And this was modeled in a first grade classroom. And it was very effective to help students learn how to expand their sentences. And the second picture is Kelly checking in with students because again, this is student focused coaching. So when we go in, we talk to the students as well to see how they're doing. And then the final picture is a model for a coach and a teacher during a small group lesson modeling a explicit sentence dictation routine.
All right. So this is going into our 5th year of doing LCP, our Literacy Coach program. And of course, it's based on powerful ideas. We believe when coaches and school leaders are supported, we have strong teachers. And so that leads to better literacy success. So this program in particular, it focuses on the science of reading, of course, from pre-K all the way to 12th grade. And we support those coaches and leaders with hands-on expert support. We offer 3 flexible models, and the first one you're seeing here is our school-based hybrid support. With this model, we offer 1 hour virtual per month, and you can see that information there, as well as we provide the 4 hours on-site visits. And so that allows us to really dive into the information while we're at school, supporting them, modeling, supporting them through PLCs, reviewing data, all the things as Andrea just mentioned, as well as following up with a monthly virtual meeting. We also provide asynchronous self-paced modules that we'll kind of guide our coaches with, our school leaders with, to kind of give them some more support with specific topics, maybe small group instruction. It might be a data piece. Maybe they need some more support within phonics. And so we'll kind of help guide them with those supports as well. The next one is our virtual support, and this has been really such a great opportunity for schools, not just here in Louisiana, but across multiple states we've been supporting. We provide strictly virtual support here, and this is going to be where we go in, we provide that 5 small group session, and then we have the whole group session once a month as well. And so this has been very beneficial for schools that are maybe, in other states that, want the support, but not necessarily the in-school based model. And the last one here is the district LCP. And this one's where we really kind of emphasize our support with our district leaders or administrators, where we come in once a month for 4 hours, and it's going to be 4 visits. So we usually do these quarterly. And this allows us to really obtain some good information when they receive their new data and kind of make not just school-wide decisions, but district decisions to kind of help align everyone together. Then we will also meet a virtual session in that 4th quarter as well. And then they also receive the asynchronous library support as well, where we can help guide them in that leadership capabilities. All right, so of course, in just 4 years, we've supported 441 schools and districts. We've trained 338 coaches, and this has happened in 3 states. So we're really pleased with the work that we've seen in the LCP model. And of course, we know the impact here in Louisiana because we led the nation in 4th grade reading growth for the 2nd year in a row. We also have gone from 42nd to 16th nationally, and I contribute that. I think our team contributes that to the supports that we've provided across the state of Louisiana. And so we're really pleased, and we want to continue that work here. Okay, this brings us to the next one. This is our comprehensive literacy innovations package. This is going to be a little bit more intense than our LCP program, and I'll get into the details in just a minute, but Alicia's going to take it from here.
Yeah, Kelly. So, guys, this is our newest program that has actually evolved from the Literacy Coach program that Andrea and Kelly were just talking to you about. We have seen the need and the feedback from our districts that we've worked with in the Literacy Coach program, and they want more. And so this is our answer to that. And so think about what your school could accomplish with 94 hours of focused, high impact literacy support delivered directly to your team over the course of the year. And so, as you can see with those 94 hours, what this program does is takes what we were doing with Literacy Coach and sort of beefs it up. It adds more hours and is a little bit more focused in our support. And so we're still driven by that data. We still make sure that we collect data with you and look at that with you, and that drives our coaching and our decisions with you and helping you make those decisions. We're still going to be looking at that core instruction, but intervention is a key piece here. Looking at those populations who are struggling readers and who need extra support, and also thinking about our new teachers. We know that our new teachers need mentors, and so we'll work with your literacy mentor or your designee to help, especially those new teachers. We know that if they can get support, then they're more likely to stay in education and continue to help our students and become even better teachers. And so we'll do some learning walks and observations with you and help you to think about what we see in the classroom, in that core instruction, then also in those interventions, and how you can better support your new teachers and teachers who are providing those services for students. And we'll help your literacy mentor go through those cycles with those teachers. And we'll also be doing that with the literacy mentor as well. So it looks a lot like the Literacy Coach program, but we've added a few extra things, and then also some extra hours, which Kelly will tell you about now.
Okay, so here we have this model, and of course, this is going to be, instead of 8 months, it's going to be our 10-month program. Again, instead of just 4 hours, you're going to receive 8 hours a month. It's going to be high intense, really going in and really hitting the ground hard. We call it, Literacy Coach on steroids. It's really going to give us a little bit more, as Alicia mentioned. With this particular model, it allows us to be there for the full day and really dive into all aspects of the day with teachers to see from start to end. And so it really allows us to really better understand what the teachers and students need and make that plan accordingly. And so with this, you can see, as I mentioned, 8 hours in a visit, and then they'll receive another virtual session, which is usually 2 hours. And then we also have the asynchronous PACE models that we're going to really kind of focus driven, just like we did for LCP, kind of focus on the areas it might be for different aspects that this teacher or coach need and that or mentor that they may need during that session. All right, so now let's talk about one of our most hands-on programs, and that's Lit Academy. And Andrea is going to take it from here. Andrea?
Okay, y'all, I love all of our programs, but Lit Academy is probably one of my most favorite because it is a hands-on workshop and we dig in. And if you have participated in the Science of Reading training and you're still wondering, well, what does this really look like in practice in the classroom? Lit Academy is that program that will provide that for you. So let's look at what that looks like. One of the sessions that we provide in Lit Academy is the gradual release of responsibility. And we know that in a lot of the curricula that we use, and when we go in schools, we see this, there is not enough of the gradual release of responsibility. It does an I do and then may go straight to a you do, or an I do and a we do, a you do, but there's absolutely not enough modeling for those students, especially those students who struggle to become self-confident in independent work. So we really focus on, what does the gradual release of responsibility look like? What does modeling really look like? Because a lot of times we see that we think modeling looks like telling the students what to do, but it's actually a look inside the teacher's brain. Like, you're saying, this is what I'm thinking as we're going through this. So this is just one session we provide in Lit Academy, and all of the sessions are absolutely amazing and hands-on learning. Here are some pictures with Lit Academy in action. The first one is Alicia making a connection to the science of reading, to writing from the science of reading. And then Jennifer is in the second picture, and that is an example of sentence expansion for lower elementary and upper elementary. And then one of my most favorite things that we did in the Writing Lit Academy was a model of color-coded writing using text. So it really shows how you can connect text to writing, and the participants in this part absolutely loved this idea. They were so excited about this practice and were ready to take it back to their schools.
All right. So Lit Academy, it's actually started as a summer conference, but due to the overwhelming interest we've had, we now offer it year round. So we bring it directly to your school. It's a 2-day intensive workshop. Educators are able to collaborate, plan, and the biggest thing is to make those real time decisions right there with their data. So this program is constantly evolving. We're constantly looking at how to make it better to make sure that we meet the changing needs of our districts and our schools. We have a whole design team that are constantly looking at fresh ideas to explore. But here's the current tracks that we offer. All of them do come with the science of reading, but they can choose between these other options. So you also have gradual release, as she mentioned, is one of the pieces. A big one right now is the standards progression in literacy. And then, of course, literacy across content areas, which has also been something that a lot of our teachers are asking for. So you can see some of the different tracks. It goes down. So track 1, it goes all the way down with best practices, content areas, standards and progression. So some of them enter together. And so you'll see, but the biggest one was the vocabulary. Track 3 was a hit this summer, and as well as in the spring. A lot of teachers are wanting to know more about writing and how to incorporate that. They're also wanting to know how to really get their vocabulary a little bit more intensified in all the subject areas. And another big one, of course, is that literacy across content areas. Our teachers in social studies and science are wanting to be a part of this movement. And so I'm excited to see that take shape. Standards and progression in literacy is also huge. Our teachers must know those standards. And so this is really another area is track 2. We've been seeing a lot of more of our younger grades take shape with that one, but we love Lit Academy. It has been such a benefit to a lot of our schools. And so this has been probably our most well-liked program that we offer. All right, so here's our data. We have supported 327 educators across 153 schools and 24 districts in 3 states. And so the feedback has again been overwhelmingly positive. Again, it's one of my personal favorites as well. And I think it's just because of the hands-on nature and the practical tools that the teachers can leave and walk away and start immediately in their classrooms. All right, so Growing Reading Brains is our next program that we're going to introduce, and I'm going to have Alicia kind of take us into that intense training.
So, Growing Reading Brains is designed to help educators learn more about the science of reading. And it's for those teachers who've already had maybe some thorough science of reading training, but still aren't sure how they can apply it in the classroom, or maybe aren't confident with those things that they've learned. And so, our science of reading training, the Growing Reading Brains, is developed to help that. It helps teachers get strategies that they can use in their classroom. And one of those strategies that we share in one of our Growing Reading Brains programs, we have several, Kelly will tell you about in a minute, is the use of phoneme graphing mapping. We don't see this enough in classrooms. We think it's a great strategy, and we wish that more teachers would use it. And so it's one of the things that we focus on in Growing Reading Brains. And it really, the reason we like it so much, and there's so much research behind it, is because it really helps students to take something so abstract like a sound and put a manipulative with it. It makes it more concrete. And so the idea is that there's a manipulative, you can see the colored discs down there, and students would have those in front of them, and it can really be anything. You can give them little cars if that helps with them, or Cheerios that they can eat at the end. But something that makes it concrete. And those students push one of those, a chip or whatever they have, the manipulative, to represent sounds. And what we do is we help students break down the word into sounds. So for example, cat, we'd make sure that they could hear the sounds k, at, and they would push a manipulative for every sound that they hear. And by doing this process and eventually blending that word together, and then we can eventually, when they're ready, bring in the spelling of the word and have them actually write the grapheme that represents the phoneme. And so they eventually do this process. This is how students learn these words and how they can orthographically map them to their brain so that in the future, when they see the word cat, they recognize it as the word cat and they don't have to sound it all out. This is one of the great strategies that we provide in our Growing Reading Brains training. Here are some other things that you can see Growing Reading Brains in action. It is a hands-on workshop style model. And so participants actually participate and they are able to do the activities themselves and learn the strategies so they can take them back to the classroom. We also have advanced phonics strategies available in one of our strands on Growing Reading Brains. And then there on the right, you can see the phoneme grapheme mapping in action. We actually do that in the Growing Reading Brains.
All right. So what Alicia was mentioning, we originally started off, with Growing Reading Brains, and so we've really evolved over the past few years. We've heard from teachers and educators across the states that they wanted a little bit more. So now we offer multiple different sessions. One of the sessions, of course, is going to be our Birth to Three, and we've been going into daycares across and learning centers across the states and really providing support directly with Birth to Three. We also have the pre-kindergarten, and so that's going to provide both our learning centers as well as in our school settings from pre-K to 4, so pre-kindergarten 4-year-old programs. And then we had our original one, our elementary kindergarten to 3rd, because we knew that was something that Louisiana really emphasized here in our states. And this really helps bridge the gaps for a lot of our teachers that might have received a previous training that needed a little bit more. And this training allows for that hands-on, really deep understanding when they're having trouble with a concept. It allows them to have not just somebody behind a screen, but really kind of understand, hey, break that apart for me because this is a lot and it's confusing for some of our teachers. And so this really allows that safe space for them. But the two big ones that we have too are the adolescents 4th through 12th. And this has been such a hit for some of our teachers that we've worked with our educators across the states, really focusing not just on our little bitties, but on our other students that need support when it comes to phonics. They might be in the 4th grade or 8th grade, and they're still struggling with some phonics concerns. So this really allows us to really dive in deep to those children and those educators. And the last one here is our English learners, and to really help bridge the gap for some of those multi-language learners. This is a 5-day in-person session. It does not have to be consecutive 5 days. It offers multiple learning sessions. And then it's, of course, an intensive Science of Reading Foundationals training. All right, so with this, we have serviced 429 K through 12 educators and 241 early childhood professionals. And many participants have had previous training, as I've mentioned, but it was either virtual or self-paced, so it just didn't fit their needs. So this is what sets GRB apart from other hands-on. It's real hands-on, it's real-time feedback that's going to provide the teachers to feel confident and supported when they leave and be able to apply what they're learning. All right, before we wrap up, I want to introduce someone very special, Jennifer Armand. She's our silent success specialist. She is your go-to person for building a customized program that fits your school or district's needs. And so I just want to share her information with you. If you are interested in any of the programs that we offer, of course, she's available, and you can always reach out to myself as well, Kelly Morris. And she's just a wealth of knowledge, and we're very lucky to have her. So at the center, we're here to support you. And of course, we believe that everyone is empowered through literacy. And that belief is at the heart of every program that we offer and every partnership that we build. So you don't just leave with us, you leave with a partnership. We'll stop the recording here and, of course, open the floor for questions. We thank you so much for joining us today, and we're excited to continue supporting your literacy journey.